Hello and welcome everyone to our June tutorial. Let's get right into it. Our June is the flagship of Dragon bots. It has an Ember-like built-in flamethrower weapon with 350 meter range and corrosion effect. In this screen you'll be able to see the level 12 Mark 1 stats. Upon activation of its ability, our June activates stealth, rises in the air and flies with very high speed. Flamethrower activates when the enemy is in target. The height in which our June flies depends on the initial ground level where our June activates its ability. Our June can get to the ground and cancel stealth whenever he wants. Don't let the power of this robot get over your senses. After your ability is activated, when you're in the air, always keep an eye on your ability button to see when your landing is going to be triggered. Determine a safe zone beforehand and calculate precisely where your landing will be, so when your landing is triggered, you are safely into the covered area. Also keep in mind that when the landing is triggered, the robot will keep sliding at a certain angle to the ground in a direction depending on where you're pressing your controller. Beware of your worst enemy, the quantum radar. So this module is a counter to any robot that relies on stealth, and our June is one of them. I'll give you a couple points that you can do against this threat. There is a high probability that certain brawler robots, especially like Ares, Spectre, Mercury, Blitz, might have quantum radar module equipped. Keep this high probability in mind before engaging such enemies. Act smart and make your opponent use his quantum radar before you really engage him. Thanks to the high flight speed of our June, you can effectively outmaneuver certain weapons while you are in the air. For example, Orkan, Avenger, Ember, Blaze, Storm. These weapons you can easily outmaneuver when you're in the air, but high precision weapons and especially lockdown weapons like Pulsar, Shredder, Halo, Corona, Tyran, Redeemer. When you're in the air, these weapons can effectively hit you and some of them even lock down you and put an end to your attack run. So knowing this will make you act accordingly depending on the situation, depending on the robots and the setups that you are facing in the battlefield. You can plan an emergency landing beforehand, so when you realize that the enemy is using quantum radar, you can immediately get into the safe zone. So right now, our June is one of top 3 robots in the game. That's why you don't necessarily need to put too much thoughts when playing it. You can go and do crazy attack runs, have huge amounts of fun with it. But as with any other robot, in order to get most out of it, you sometimes need to be reactive and think a bit better before activating your ability. So you need to play reactively and carefully when facing tough opponents and other top robots such as Ares and Mercury, for example. You can outplay them, you can let them do the first move or make them do the first move by making them activate their ability and act accordingly depending on the situation. It's also worth mentioning that Aygir has also a longer ability duration than most other top robots, and that's a big advantage that you can use to your favor. Aygir doesn't have any type of defense and no insane amounts of HP. That's why in the 20-second time window, while your ability is being regenerated, you should do your best to preserve your bot and stay defensive. Operate in your covered areas and don't go out in the open too much because you'll be very vulnerable without your ability. Since most of the players are phone users, it can be hard to aim while Aygir is flying. That's why it can be a bit hard in the beginning to aim with this robot with whichever weapon you're using, but practice it and over time you'll get better at it. Also consider staying still for a few seconds while you're shooting. This way you can have a better aim. But don't forget to keep an eye on your ability button, as I said in the beginning of the video. Aygir is the best suited weapon for this robot, and let me explain the reasoning behind this. So Aygir is relatively easy and cheap to upgrade compared to some of other strong heavy weapons like Ember, and it's a very devastating weapon looking at its price effectiveness ratio. Also, the 10-second reload time of Aygir is not a really big deal because you are going to be reloading them when you are staying defensively and peacefully waiting for your ability regeneration. Honestly, any active module can work well with Aygir. If you want more survivability in the battlefield, use repair unit. If you face an overwhelming number of stealth robots, use quantum radar. And if you face a lot of fast moving targets like Striders, Kumiho, and you want to stop them, you can use the lockdown ammo. As per passive modules, I would certainly use thermonuclear reactors or nuclear reactors to enhance the firepower, because you'll be having an immense firepower with two heavy weapons and your built-in flamethrower weapon. Also consider putting last stand on it because it will give a huge improvement to Aygir's survivability in the battlefield. That's it guys, I hope this video was helpful to you. If it was, please make sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and click the notification bell to get notified when I upload these types of videos. Take care everyone, and I will see you in the next video.